Hey squad, it is your boy JB, and I am here today with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of New York City, you guys. So, before we go ahead and get into this, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop checking out on this date and having me play for it at the end. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, you guys, let's just go ahead and jump into this episode of what is this? Real Housewives of New York City. Hey, how you doing today? On this good what is today? Tuesday? Oh, I gotta do love and hip hop later tonight. But how are you doing today? Hope you're having a good one. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on into this. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the live chat. What's going on? Hey everybody, I'm doing good, doing real good. Can't complain. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I got to go back into the office and wrap up in a little bit. But let me. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, appreciate y'all for letting me know you can hear me. So let me know in the live chat. What is everybody thinking of the Real Housewives of New York City? Are you guys liking the ladies? Let me know. So far, I will say for me, I think this is a good season. I think I'm going to enjoy the ladies, with the exception of maybe one. I think there's one lady that I'm not the biggest fan of right about now, and that is Jessel, because I think Jessel complains too much. But we'll talk about Jessel when we get to her. So I'm gonna start up where we kind of picked up this episode. We're still with Erin at her home. So honestly, the ladies did annoy me with this trip because I felt like a lot of them were just complaining for no freaking reason. Now, granted, I will say one thing about Erin and her home. The fact that she didn't have no food for them, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go on a vacation and there's no food there. Like a weekend getaway or anything. I'm not going nowhere where there's no food. Like you got to be able to feed me. I don't require a lot, but food is one of them. So you say I'm liking it because we are getting to know all the girls. Absolutely, I think so too. I like that. It seems authentic. It does. You say I like it. It's refreshing. Can't stand Jessel either. What's up? How you doing? So yeah, the ladies are now. I don't want to mispronounce. Is it shock? Y'all know whatever it is that Aaron wanted to make, right? So she eventually made it in this episode. So we also saw that when Aaron woke up, Bryn was in her bed, right? So the reason that Bryn was in Aaron's bed is because the room that Bryn was supposed to sleep in, it had a crib in it. So of course she can't sleep in the bed, right? I'm starting to grow to like Bryn a little bit more. What I've said in previous reviews is with Bryn, my personal opinions, you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. With Bryn, I felt like in the first two episodes of meeting Bryn, I felt like Bryn was just doing a lot and putting on for the cameras. That was just my personal opinion. But in this episode, for us to get to know a little bit more about Bryn, I actually really like Bryn. You say that Bryn is your fave? For me, my fave right now, and it can change at any point, but right now my favorite is Jenna. I think Jenna is freaking phenomenal. I think Jenna is freaking phenomenal. And then if I had to say a close second, who would be second for me? If I had to choose a second person after Jenna, I guess I would have to go with actually no, scratch that. So my top, I'll give you top three. Top three for me is Jenna number one. Then after Jenna, I have to go with Uba because I think Uba is amazing. And we'll talk about Uber. I like Uber, and then Brent. I have to. I'm moving people around. I like Brent because Brent is funny, and but like I said, I can see how with Brent, I can see little things where it makes me think that Brent has studied Housewives before, and so she's just trying to take bits and pieces from certain Housewives and just bring it to her. And I just want to see a more authentic side of Bryn. So Kiwan, you say Jenna is my top fave, but then Bryn. Okay. CFC Riley says that Bryn is funny sometimes. Absolutely. So you say the top three for me is Jenna, Uba, and Sai. I'm still trying to feel Sai out, so to speak. I'm still trying to feel Sai out, but I'm not like completely written off to Sai. I just have to feel Sai out. So Charlie says, if Jessel don't get off this show, her husband either we'll talk about that. Her husband's either gonna divorce her or they will have serious problems next season. I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts and opinions about Jessel and her husband when I get to them. But yeah, I do see some cracks in that relationship. So Erin made like I said, Erin made her shock shoot. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not gonna butcher it. But whatever, she made that right. I did think it was a little bit rude. I did think it was just a little rude when Sai was talking about what it was made with. I'm like, girl, this is part of her culture. Like, why are we being disrespectful to the woman's culture? I did not like that. So Uber came out with her Uber Hot. So I'm assuming that's like a hot sauce. I don't know. I have to look into it. I probably won't buy it because I don't really like hot sauce like that. I do like hot foods, but I don't like hot sauce. That is just one thing that I don't do. So congratulations to Uber though. Uber's on one of Oprah's favorite things. Like that's a big accomplishment. So let me be honest with you guys. So if I were Aaron, despite the fact that Aaron didn't have no food for the ladies, most of them were hella disrespectful to her home. And I would have told the lot of them to get the fuck out of my house. Like that's just me. So Charlie says Jenna is my girlfriend, so get off of her. Hey, we gonna have to fight over Jenna because Jenna we gonna have to fight over Jenna. Love you, but Jenna is my girl. That is boo right. That is my bae right there. So CFC Ryder says we're gonna have to fight over exactly. I think we all gonna have to fight over. I think everybody who is watching this has fallen in love with Jenna. So you say Jenna and Uber. I love Uber. Uber is so beautiful. And I know someone had told me, it actually Phil, who told me that she's related to Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai. And when you look at her, you can literally see it. They look alike. So they didn't discuss the holidays, and I really did feel bad when they were talking about the holidays. You could look at Bryn, and Bryn's face went down. So we also found out that Bryn has been engaged 3 times. Hey, I can't hate on that, right? But we also find that she doesn't really have any familial ties, and I was like, oh, that's really sad. Like that was really really sad to hear that she doesn't have any familiar ties. I mean, we can share her. I have no problem with share. We all can love on Jenna. We all can love on Jenna. But I did think that that was really sad when Brand was talking about the fact that she has just no familial ties. And we'll definitely dig deeper into her familiar issues once we get into her scene. Jessel. I was so happy when Jessel freaking left Aaron's house. Like, okay, I get it. The woman didn't have no food. Yes, I'm okay with y'all being upset about her not having no food. The house was cold. Now, see, you would hate me. Like, somebody would hate me because for me, I like my place to be cold. So when you come to my house, it's going to be freezing because everybody complains about, oh my god, it's cold in your house because I have the ceiling fan on, I have the air conditioner on. Now during the winter, I do turn the heat on, but it's not going to be in my room. It's just going to be around the house. In my room, a ceiling fan and a box fan would be on. So just be prepared to be cold when you come to my house. Like no, but here's the thing for me. I just really thought that she was very rude. I don't know where that rudeness comes from when it comes to Jessel, but Jessel is just an absolute hell no for me. But I'm pretty sure that when she left, I'm pretty sure Aaron breathed a huge sigh of relief. You said I just want her on the weekends. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, for me, Jessel can literally go straight to hell. I am not a fan of Jessel, and she is just a no for me. I keep my air conditioner on 60 and a fan on high. Exactly. So anybody that will come to my house, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it, and you're gonna hate me because you're gonna be ready to go. Because I just, for me personally, especially when I sleep at night, I sweat profusely. So I have to have some kind of air on me because I don't want to wake up in a puddle of sweat. It bothers me. I don't want to have to change my, because I've done it before, especially when I get sick. Like when I get sick, I really sweat, but even just regular, I can't be hot. I'm sorry, guys. It's a no for me. So CFC Riley says, I feel like it's just a British thing with Jessel. I like her. I don't know. It's fine that you like her, and that's what I was wondering if it's a British thing, because I know that the Brits they are very different from us Americans. So I think about that. I'm like, is it a part of her how she was raised? But what I will say though is when her husband's gonna say it later in the episode that it's the way she says things. It's not always what you say, it's how you say things. And I think that's what she needs to learn. Charles says, I like the underdog who think that is. You say you like Aaron too? I do like Aaron. We gonna talk about Aaron and just we gonna keep talking about Aaron because I saw something on Twitter about Aaron. So Aaron supports the orange man. So what I'm gonna say is I don't have an issue with who people support politically, right? As long as you don't have those racist ideologies that man and his base have, I'm cool with that, right? I don't really have a problem with Aaron supporting Chester the Cheeto, or you know who as I call him, right? So she's cool with me. She ain't done nothing on the show to piss me off, so I don't care that she supports that man, and that's fine. She can support whoever she wants to support. You say I grew up in West London, and the British can be very blunt, very honest, and the sense of humor is very dry. That's something. The last part you said, I can definitely understand that because I myself have a dry sense of humor, and I can also deal with. I'm okay with being blunt, and I'm okay with being honest. Right? Nothing's wrong with that. I think is most times what it is it's the way it's the tone in which you say things. Like when let's go back one episode, like when Jenna gave them the lingerie. It was the way she said it in front of Jenna. You could have said that so many different ways about your displeasure of that outfit. You could have said, oh, I don't like how this looks. It might not fit my body. There are so many different, but it's just how she said things that kind of rubs me the wrong way with Jessel. Um, I don't need that as long as she ain't racist. Exactly. If Aaron wants to support that dumbass man, girl, support him all you want to. I don't give a fuck. As long as I don't see any, as long as the thing that's gonna blow me is if I see any racist tweets or anything. If just as long as I don't see anything racist come from her, I am fine with Aaron supporting that raggedy ass man. You say true. She was being extra in that scene. Absolutely, she was being extra in that scene. So again, like I said, I think that's where my issues come in when it comes to Jessel is the fact that she just comes off very, very rude and extra and entitled. She can say whatever she want to say, but think about what you say before you say it. Like there's a scene in this episode with Jenna where actually let's go ahead and talk about. I think we can go ahead and talk about it because it's involving Aaron, where she told Aaron. So Jenna told Aaron that Jessica called her inside some cackling hens. Honestly, you guys, I thought this shit was funny. I laughed at it because it was shady and it was funny. Like it's just how you say things, right? So we found out with Erin that she grew up in real estate. So she actually her parents were both in real estate. I know she said Tom Clancy. That is the one. I think that's the guy that works that voices SpongeBob. I could be wrong. And then she said somebody else. So she went into real estate. She also worked with Frederick. Now, Frederick is from Million Dollar Listing New York, correct, you guys? I never watched that show, but I do know who Frederick is because I saw Frederick on Watch What Happens Live so many times with Andy. So I do know who Frederick is. I just don't know what show Frederick is from. So she also has a design business. I'm like, okay, I love, a go-getter, a woman that's a go-getter. I love that. So Jenna came over to her home, and see, here's where I will say I have so much respect for Erin. Erin didn't open that gift in front of Jenna, and I respected that because she was like, we don't want a repeat of what happened with Miss Jessel, right? And here's the thing: when it comes to me, like I've gotten gifts for Christmas and for my birthday that I didn't necessarily like, but I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I'm like, oh, you thank what you do is you open a gift, you look at it. If it's not something that you want or like, you still say thank you for the gift and you don't disrespect the person. You say thank you for this gift. I really appreciate it, right? And then that's that. I mean, even with people who do white elephant, like sometimes, people that's the one thing that I just won't do. I think is a little tacky, is to re-gift the shit to somebody. Like, nah. I'll put it in my closet and I'll probably find some useful things. Here's the thing with me: if you give me something that I don't like, I'm always going to find some way to use it in some kind of way. Even if it's some clothing that I don't like, I'm still going to find a way to make it work for me. Jenna got some amazing manners. Yes, she does. She never shows up empty-handed, so thoughtful. Absolutely. I love that about Jenna. Jenna, when she comes to your house, she gonna have something for you. And I think that is amazing. And that's a test, that's just a testament who Jenna is. So, so yeah, Erin said she wasn't going to open a gift, and I was like, you know what, I respect that. I like that. That's the best way. I think that's one of the best ways you can do. Or when it comes to gifts, here's the thing for me. Also, when it comes to gifts, I always tell people it's better to give me money than to try to buy for me because I have a weird sense of style and taste. So I always tell people it's just better to give me money. That way I can go get what I want, right? But if you want to buy something for me, ask me what I like, and then I'll tell you. I probably could have I probably could have that had dressed that lingerie. Exactly. She could have dressed that up so many different ways. Or if she's a good, like, I mean, you could have took it to someone and had them, alter it, do whatever. But to be rude, yeah, nah. I'm laughing at this comment. Bitch, don't be rude to my weekend wife. The fuck exactly. I just thought that was rude from Jessel. But hey, that was it with Aaron. So we're gonna go on and talk about. Actually, let's just go ahead and since I've been talking about Jessel so much, why don't we go ahead and just get into Jessel? So with Jessel, you guys, um, with Jessel, I see a lot. Unfortunately, I see a lot of cracks in her marriage, and I don't think if she stays on this show for another season, I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back and tell us that she and her husband are going through a divorce. Because when I look at Jessel with her husband, I don't necessarily think she likes that man. I don't. I don't even think she's attracted to the man. For you to not have sex with the man, wow, after having your twins, and your twins are what, almost 2 years old, that speaks volumes. You say you give him a BJ, but I don't know too many men that's going to be in a relationship where they're not getting, you know, sexual intercourse. Like, I don't know too many men that are going to go for that. But hey, if he likes it, I just don't think he does. I really don't. I see a lot of cracks in that marriage. I just don't see it lasting. And then so they're getting their sons into daycare. One thing I will say to Jessel, girl, my hat is off to you raising twins. Whoo, I just don't know how I couldn't do it. I couldn't imagine dealing with twins. Oh my God. Yeah. So kudos to you for that one. So she brought up the trip to, and how everything was. I love the fact that her husband told her that your tone could potentially turn people off. So she said, are you calling me a bitch? He said, well, I'm not necessarily calling you a bitch, but your tone, you could work on your tone, right? So let's get to the comments. Why do women think it's a good idea to get on reality TV when you know your marriage is not strong? I don't know if one thing I will say when it comes to reality TV, sometimes I think these women do go on the show knowing that their marriages have issues in them. And I think sometimes it's a way to get out of the marriage, so to speak. Now, I'm not saying that's what the case is with Jessel, but because this marriage, like I said, you went on. I just think it's a little interesting that you went on television and you let it be known that you're not having sex with your husband. So you might want to watch out because women have no problem with hopping into a married man's DMs and saying, "Hey, your wife ain't giving you none, but I guarantee you, I will." I hope they work on their marriage. They got two little. That is what I do. I don't wish anything on them, but just looking from the outside looking in, it doesn't look too good. It really doesn't. And you've already put it out there that you're not having sex with your husband. So, like I just said, you might find some desperate ass women who have no regard for him being a married man or not, and will hop in that man's DMs and be all over him. But for the sake of their children, I do hope that they can make it work. But like I also said, looking at the way Jessel talks to him, I don't believe she's really interested in it. I don't think she likes that man like that. And I could be wrong. And I'm always okay to say when I'm wrong. You said your grandma had triplets. Wow. My grandmother had one set of twins, but she had multiple other kids, right? Now, one of her sisters had two sets of twins. Oh, I don't know how my aunt did two sets of twins. Jesus the Christ. So yeah, Jessel. So he was telling her, like I said, it's her the way she says things is not always what you say. It's just literally how you say it, right? So she did tell him that when she went out with Jenna, she told Jenna that if in the future she does anything that's disrespectful to Jenna finds disrespectful, just to tell her. But see, here's a issue that I have with that, right? I respect her for saying if I do something that offends you, please tell me. But you should also have enough tact to know that I'm saying something that my friend may take offensively. So you should then in turn say, you know what, Jenna, that came out the wrong way. I didn't mean to disrespect you. So you should have enough wherewithal to know that you're offending your friend. Like that's a problem in itself. You should have enough wherewithal to know, hey, I just said this to my friend, and I wasn't trying to hurt my friend's feelings or nothing like that. So let me apologize to my friend before it gets any deeper than what it is. And then you felt the way about Cy and Aaron chiming in, but you probably would not have said anything to Jenna if it weren't for Cy and Aaron. Let's be real about that. I don't think that Jenna would have. Jessel. I don't think Jessel would have said anything to Jenna if it wasn't brought to her attention. Let me know what you guys think. Like, do you guys agree with that? I just honestly don't think she would have said anything to Jenna because I think she felt like, I was just saying how ugly it is. Let me know what you guys, if you guys agree or disagree in the comments in the live chat. So let's go ahead and move on, you guys, and we'll talk about Uber. So Uber, you guys, like I said, I really do. I dig Uber. I rock with Uber. She's so tall and beautiful, and we got to see a little bit more of Uber in this episode. So we see Uber, and she's inviting her friend Kathleen over, right? So Kathleen is her friend, and I also think Kathleen works with her when it comes to her brand Uber Hot, right? So Uber is looking for investors, for her brand. But the issue with Uber is that Uber doesn't like to ask for help. Now, I'm the same way with Uber. I am my family calls me stubborn and pig-headed because if I ever need help, that is the last thing that I'm always the person who you come to for help. And I never go to anybody. I never tell people when I need help. I always try to do things on my own and try to figure it out, and that's a flaw of mine that I just don't know how to ask for help. So I absolutely understood where Uber was coming from. It is so hard for me to ask for help. I'm a village to my friends and my family, but I don't go to them when I need the help. CFC Riley says, I enjoy learning more about Uber. Absolutely. I just need them to leave my baby. Excuse me, y'all. I just need them to leave my baby alone. I need more of Uber's backstory. I do too. But I think, with Uber, I wonder, since we heard Chanel Ayan's story on Dubai, I wonder, do there, because the very terrible story of Chanel Ayan's, right? I hope Uber had a different upbringing than Chanel, because I remember when Chanel told her story last season on Dubai, and it really broke my heart to hear that story. Ugh. So yeah, with Uber, I like seeing this about her. So Uber is so used when it comes to Uber. Uber said that she's used to having her community be there for her to help her, right? And I was like, I can understand that. You do have people that you go because for an investor, these are people that you don't necessarily know, and you just going to them asking them for money. So it could be a little bit uncomfortable, right? So then she started talking about her mom, and her mom passed away, I believe she said in 2012. And when she started crying, I tried, it took everything out of me not to cry, because listening to her talk about her mom, it just reminds me of mine. So Uba, my deepest condolences and empathy go out to you for that. I know that pain of losing your mother. I definitely do. So if you guys have your moms, please love on your moms as much as you guys can, because once your mom is gone, that's really it, you guys. It really, I hate to say it like that, but once mama's gone, she's gone. So love on them while they're here. But yeah, I loved seeing this with Uba, and I definitely want to see a lot more of Uba. Like, I really want to see a whole lot more when it comes to Uba. You say with Uba, I can tell she is a hard worker, so I really hope her business benefits from being on the show. I do too. I just want the best for her. Absolutely. So I don't know how they're related, but I do know that when on episode one premiere night, they were on Watch What Happens Live, and someone asked her about Chanel, and she said that they're cousins. And then on Twitter, Chanel said the same thing, that they're actually blood cousins. So I don't know how they're related to each other, if it's mother or father, but they're definitely related to one another. So I don't necessarily know if they've said, what the relationship is, if it's their moms or if it's dads or what. I lost my mama last year, March 1st. Trust me, I know the feeling. Absolutely. And it's only been a year for you. And for me, it has been 2017. So 17, 18, 19, 20. So what? 17. So it's been 6 years, almost 7 years since my mom passed away. And it still feels like it just happened yesterday. So yeah, I know, I th- you know I know what you're going through, and I know the feeling that she's going through. And her mom has been gone almost over a decade at this point, right? Wow. So yeah, prayers up to Chanel. So let's go ahead and move over to Bryn, you guys. Now, what I will say about Bryn, I know people have been saying on social media that Bryn was biracial, but ain't no shade here. But looking at Bryn, I was like, I don't see nothing biracial in this woman. I was like, y'all a lie. This woman, this is a whole ass white woman. Like, no shade to my, no shade to my Caucasian people, but I kept looking at Bryn. I'm like, this is a white woman. I'm like, I don't see anything in her that is black or biracial. So yeah, but she confirmed it in this episode that she's biracial, that her mom is white and her dad is black. And I was like, oh, so y'all were telling the truth. Again, no shade to her, but looking at her, and I think what it is with Bryn is that her skin is so fair, and the hair, like, I don't see a biracial woman in her. You know what? She kind of looks, you know what? The more I look at her, she gives me Meghan Markle. I lost my mom in 2012. It's hard. It really is. I was thinking the same when I was thinking the same way. I was thinking the same when I looked at Bran. Like, I'm sorry, you guys. I know y'all is, I know you saying her hair, but her hair is straight. That is straight. But when they showed the photos of her as a little girl, I saw it. I was like, okay, I see it. But this hair right here on this screen, it does not say it. I do not see anything that screams biracial. She she's white passing, you guys. She's white passing for me. Maybe not to you guys, but she could be. She has. I'm pretty sure she probably. Well, she said that the kids in school made fun of her. So I don't know, but yeah, she's fair skinned, but she does give that Meghan Markle, Kristen Press kind of biracial person. She does. She definitely gives that Meghan Markle them kind of biracial person. So because when like I said, when I saw the cast photo, I was like, okay, I saw Uba and I saw Jessel and I saw Psy. That's a weave. Wow. Okay. I did not know that was a weave. So what does her rear hair look like? Was that her rear hair that she was getting done? Because it did look when she was getting her hair done in this scene, it did look a little when the woman was washing her hair. I could see the curls, but again, looking at her, yeah, she said she went to an all-white school. I can't even imagine what that's like for, a biracial person to go to an all-white school and you're the only quote unquote what they wouldn't consider you a white person. They necessarily probably wouldn't consider you a biracial person. They would probably want to call you a black person, right? So I can't imagine what that's like. And kids are, unfortunately, we have to say kids are stupid, right? So I did. This scene right here made me see a different side of Bren, and the fact that she said that she was raised by her white grandmother. So her mom is white and her dad is black, right? So when she was saying that, and she said her grandmother saw this woman in the community that told her to bring she and I think her sister and her brother down. I know she said her and her sister to her salon and she did her hair. And that was really the only experience she had with the black community. And oh, you guys, so I always kind of feel a way about this kind of topic when we talk about, biracial children and the black side of their family not really being in their lives. I always kind of feel a little way about that, right? That's not my experience because I do actually have a cousin that is biracial. My aunt is black and his dad is white, right? But he knows both sides of his family. I don't know if my cousin identifies. I don't know how my cousin identifies. Probably identifies as I don't know. I would have to ask him. So I always kind of find I just especially when it's the dad that is black and the mom is white, I always kind of just feel a little bit of way about that when they say that, oh, my family wasn't in my life. I'm like, that just goes to that narrative that the other side likes to say when they have absentee fathers in the family. I'm like, ugh. But that's her story, and I'm not going to take away from her story. I absolutely will not. I just always say I just kind of feel a little bit of a way when I see it, but I'm not taking away from Brand's story. So the cast is four people of color. Absolutely, yes. It's four people of color: Jessel, Bryn, Cy, and now Bryn. Go figure. And a gay woman. So Aaron is the only white woman. Yeah, yeah, that is true. And when I started looking at the cast after seeing this episode, I'm like, oh, this is a really diverse cast. Because I think that's one thing that I think we have been missing with New York is the fact that New York previously never showed the true diversity of New York City. So I'm loving that, especially in Indiana. I can't imagine. Yeah, this scene right here in particular just made me see a different side of Bryn, and it made me say, okay, I like Bryn. I like Bryn. I will say though, never mind. I was about to say something. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But yeah, that's it with Brand. I will say though, we're what 4 episodes in. I do like the fact that we are getting to know the ladies on a deeper level. I like that, and I think from me, I will say, I think that this should be a trend for some of the other older housewife cities. I think we might need to get. I think some of these housewife cities might need a facelift, and I'm gonna say one in particular that I definitely think needs a facelift, and it's not the one that you probably guys are going to expect me to say. New Jersey. New Jersey is in dire need of a facelift for me. I am over that cast of New Jersey because we have been dealing with the same bullshit for the last, I don't know how many seasons. If I have to watch another season of Teresa and Melissa going back and forth with each other, I'm going to, excuse me, I started choking. Yeah, if I have to see another season of Teresa and Melissa going back and forth with each other, I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with another season of that. Like it's just really it's tiring. We Teresa and Melissa have been arguing with each other for years, and then the tree stumps, as I call them, they're delusional. They're just as delusional as that nutcase idiot that they love to go up behind. Because there is, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I actually tweeted about one of Teresa's Stan pages who is stalking Melissa and just posting everything you can find on earth about Melissa. And they're using one of Teresa's daughters as their profile picture. It is the nastiest thing I've ever saw. But you say my cousin's biracial. They're my uncle's kids. I love them to death, but they yeah. See, my first cousin, he's my aunt is his mom, so he's black. His mom is black, so I just don't know. It's an interesting thing. I need to talk to my cousin about that. Yep, New Jersey. hmm I know people probably. I know you guys will probably expect me to say Atlanta, but Atlanta could use a facelift it too. But I definitely feel like New Jersey definitely needs a new. Like I'm tired of all the drama with New Jersey, from the drama with Melissa and Teresa, or Teresa and Margaret. I'm tired of it. It's old. Or Margaret and Jennifer. Ugh. You say Potomac feels dated too. Hate to say it because it's my fave. What I will say with Potomac, Potomac. What I will say about Potomac, yes and no. I think Potomac can work for maybe another 2 or 3 seasons, another 2 seasons, right? Because if here's the thing with Potomac, if the ladies actually give us real storylines, it can work, right? If Robin is going to be honest this season about her stuff with her and Juan, it can literally 100% work, right? If Giselle comes on, we saw her take Grace to college, right? If she comes on and talk about what it feels like to start to be an empty nester, cool. Ashley, I don't need shit from Ashley, but her to be honest that she's not getting a divorce. Karen, as much as I love me some Karen Huger, I think we could phase. I think we actually could start to phase Karen out, right? I hate to say it, but I think we can phase Karen out. Wendy, I think Wendy's been showing up, for the last few seasons, and I think the same for Candace, right? I think those two have been showing up. Mia, Mia just got to stop lying. That's all it is when it comes to Mia. And Mia's no fan. Mia is not a fan of mine, and I don't think Mia likes me because I made a crack about Mia's joke, Mia's feet, and Mia made a crack at me about my ears. So we good. So I think, like I said, I think Potomac can work for just a little bit longer, but it's coming to a point where, yes, I think Potomac will need a facelift as well. Um, and another one that I think can use it, I definitely think they need to. do something different with the cast is OC. I think OC needs a new cast. Them bringing Tamara back, it does nothing for me. It falls flat because I'm not a fan of Tamara. I don't like Tamara. I've never liked Tamara. She can go. You say every franchise needs a new cast? Yeah. I think the only franchises that don't need a new cast right now is, for me, I'll say Miami is doing amazing. Last season of Miami was really good. I think Miami is good. Salt Lake City, go ahead and cancel that shit. Nobody cares about Salt Lake City, right? Dubai. Dubai was boring season one. So I don't know what can be done for Dubai. Let me know what you guys think about Dubai. But Dubai can Dubai. Chanel Ayan can't be it for Dubai. Lisa Milan, I love her. The other black lady, I don't see it for her. Stanberry, I don't see it for Stanberry either. And I think they got some new cast members. I think they got some new cast members for Dubai. But right now, currently, I think the cities that are doing the best is New York City and currently Miami. Other than that, I think most of them, we all agree, they could use some facelifts. You say, yeah, Miami's good. I don't know why I had a dream of Candace being pregnant. Okay, we okay. Candace, if you see it, we wishing you well. I do think Candace might want to get pregnant, but I don't. Candace got a lot going on currently with her music and acting. I don't see Candace getting pregnant for a good few years. I watched one episode of Dubai. I watched the whole entire season of Dubai, and I want my time back. Miami is the best franchise at this moment. It is. So you say I don't watch Dubai because I'm already watching Atlanta, Miami, Potomac, and all of my country's franchises too. I've never gotten into the international franchises. I've never gotten into them, and I kind of want to. Like, I kind of want to watch some of the one. I wish that we could get the ones in over in Africa. Um, let me know about the other ones because I've saw some like Cheshire and all those. I don't know anything about those franchises. Um, Another franchise that I think they could do good. We'll have to see what their season looks like when it comes up. Beverly Hills. We're gonna see what Beverly Hills is giving now that Brenna is gone. But you guys, let's go ahead and wrap up the episode, and we can talk about Miss Psy. So Psy, when it comes to Psy, you guys, like I said, I'm still trying to feel Psy out. I don't dislike Psy, but I'm still trying to just feel Psy out, right? So we see Psy, and she's preparing dinner with her husband, right? So she's talking to her husband about Bren and her her family, and Thanksgiving is coming up. So Bren travels for Thanksgiving, and you know to make Bren feel included, she wants to do a friendsgiving, right? Because just and I Psy identifies you know um with Bren because of their upbringing. I know you fucking lying. Did you see the interview Carlos King talking about Roni is boring? I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. Carlos King. Now, I don't have anything personal against Carlos King. I think he is good at what he does. But Carlos King is calling Roni boring. Has he looked at the ratings for his show Love and Marriage Detroit? Those ratings continuously go down week after week. That show is boring. Like, I know he ain't talking about boring. I know Carlos ain't talking about boring when he can't even crack 200,000 views on Love and Marriage Detroit. But at least with Roni, they get what, 700,000 views each at least. Carlos, work on those shows. Oh, you're from South Africa. I love it. And I watch is it Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town, my home city. If you're trying to get into some African franchises, watch is it pronounced Legos or but I know what you're saying. Season one and okay. I think the last one that you said, I think that they showed I believe on Peacock we have that one. So I'll definitely go on because I definitely have wanted to get into some of the South African ones for sure. That I definitely have wanted to get into some of those over there in Africa because they look very interesting. And I like seeing black people on my screen. I love seeing black people. Now I don't like it when we act the fool, but absolutely love it, right? They need to bring DC back. What I will say, I would love it if they brought DC back, but the issue with DC is, so many people in DC, I don't know, they have those clearances. So I think that was one of the issues with DC, aside from the fact that Mikhail and her husband crashed President Obama's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Yeah, that's really what tanked that show. Was that, oh Jesus, I remember that too, and they filmed it. The only show that's popping is The Bells. Yes, Bell Collective is like right now for me with Carlos. That's my show. I rocks with Bell Collective. As far as the Love and Marriage franchise, it's a struggle. It's a snooze fest, right? Only one currently that I can say that I might semi enjoy is Love and Marriage DC, but they ain't even came back yet. And I just saw on Twitter that Jamie said they getting ready to film their reunion, and we ain't even got the back half of season two yet. But I know you lying that Carlos said that Roni is boring when Love and Marriage Detroit is struggling in the views. Sir, shut up. Now, this is a little biased on my part. I want Bravo to go back and redo Real Housewives of Dallas and recast Dallas, because Dallas could be a really good city if they get the right cast. I think that was the issue with Dallas. They didn't have the best cast. I was telling you on, girl, I'm not calling this shit no X. It is still Twitter. I was telling you on X, aka Twitter, I checked out Love and Marriage Detroit. Did you like it? I think oh, that was you that told me you checked it out. What did you think about it? Let me know. I find it boring as hell, but I still talk about it for some odd reason. Carlos is boring. You- so you said you don't like it. And that's the general consensus when it comes to Love and Marriage Detroit, that nobody likes it. So yeah, for him to sit here and try to call Roni boring, okay, sir, work on your shows, and then come back and talk to us about Bravo. Like I like it. I when it comes to Carlos, you said I hate this show. When it comes to Carlos, I respect his opinions, but I also want him to be, you know, concise. If you give criticisms to one or two shows, you need to then look at your shows and reevaluate as well. Now, granted, I know that OWN is a boutique network. I get it. And it's not going to get the views that Bravo gets. But if you got a show that is getting 100,000 views, you might want to take a look at that. Because I think even Love and Marriage Huntsville, they don't get like, I think they at least might get 500,000. But these shows this show here, Love and Marriage Detroit, it's struggling. So back to the show, you guys. So yeah, so I was telling you guys that Cy wants to do a Friendsgiving, right? I have never done a Friendsgiving. You know what? If I get a house next year, I'm gonna do a Friendsgiving. I don't have a whole lot of friends, but I'm gonna do it and invite some friends over. Oh God, that means I gotta cook. That means I gotta cook, and that means that I have to clean up. Maybe not. Maybe. You know what? If we do it, then I will have paper plates. My friends gonna hate me, but it is what it is. So we see all the ladies as they showed up for the Friendsgiving. Now, actually, before that, Jessel, not Jessel, but Cy called up Bren and told Bren, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm cool. I'm down with it, right?" So they did talk about Jessel, and I love the fact that Cy's husband came in and told them that they should take it easy on Jessel. And I was like, wow, I wasn't even thinking about that. That maybe they should take it easy on her, because he did say, he doesn't know what it's like to have two kids, and then the fact that she had twins. So I was like, you know what? he made some valid points, right? We could take it easy on Jessel, but at this, like I said earlier in the review, I also feel like when it comes to Jessel, that she's just, I think Jessel needs to be accountable for what she says and how she says things. If she can do that, Jessel will be cool in my book. So you said Cy and her husband are cute. They are very cute. And her kids too. She has a lovely family. She really does. I'm still trying to feel, like I said, I'm still trying to feel Cy out, right? I'm still trying to feel her out, but I think I can collect. I think I can say I like her. She does things that she does some things that I'm like, okay, especially her keep talking about the food. I ain't mad about it, but damn, if you hungry, here's the thing: when I get hungry, if there's no food around, I can guarantee you I'm gonna find some food, right? So yeah. So all the ladies showed up to Friendsgiving, and they're having it at Jessel's house, right? Not just besides house. So Cy had everybody when they came in. She sent in a text message to take your shoes off before you come upstairs, right? I don't know if Aaron overlooked that, and Aaron's like, but it goes with the outfit. I don't give. I'm the same way as Cy. When you come into my house, take your shoes off. Please take your shoes off. Leave your shoes at the front door because I don't want whatever you stepped in outside to track into my damn house. Absolutely not. That is my biggest pet peeve. When I come home every day from work, the first thing that comes off of me are my shoes. They don't go anywhere past my door. Only shoes that I wear in my house are my sandals because I don't wear my sandals outside. If I go outside, I put on my tennis shoes. But my tennis shoes, they don't go around my carpet. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I was cool with that, right? Again, like I said, I don't give a damn if it do go with your outfit. Oh the fuck well, you better take pictures on Instagram so that everybody can see your outfit because I don't care, right? So here's another thing with Jessel, you guys. Everyone was looking good for the Brynntersting dinner, especially Jen and Sai. Yes. Now here's another thing when it comes to Jessel. I know we were talking about, she's from from the UK, right? But she's from London. Do they not know what empathy is? Because I mean, damn. So Aaron's grandmother, who was 94 years old, passed away, right? She was asking Aaron, how was it? That's not a question that you ask somebody who just buried someone. You don't ask them how was the services. You typically say, how are you? Do you need anything? Are you okay? Right? Nope, not Jessel. And then Jessel just abruptly ended that conversation. I was like, well, damn. Let the woman know that you really don't give a damn about her grandmother. I was like, okay. So I'm you know what though, when it comes down to that, I'm just gonna chalk it up to that's just maybe she's just not an empathetic person because there are people in my life that I do know that they just don't have an empathetic when it comes to you know death and stuff like that. They just don't know how to they don't show the emotions. They're just not that type of person. So like I said, I do have friends and family in my life who they just don't have it in them, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. But I mean, damn, she just literally, it was like she didn't care. I was like, okay, cool. So you say LOL, they do. But I think Jessel was just insensitive in that particular moment. Very insensitive. I was like, I was I was with Aaron. I was like, okay, you're asking me how was it? How do you think a memorial service is? It's sad. My grandmother is gone. Yes, she was 94. Yes, she lived a good life. Yes, we expected her to pass away, but do you think it was? I mean, I know in the black community here, for us in the black community in the US, yes, that's a celebration of life, but it's not. We're not really celebrating that. We're mourning, so it's not joyous. It's not that joyous. We're sad. Again, I know her grandmother was 94, but damn, Jessel, have a little bit of empathy. I mean, God, I was like, damn. I was literally with Aaron that whole entire scene. Like, I was with Aaron. Kiwan said, I'm not gonna lie, I used to ask folks that same question, LOL, but I eventually became aware. It's okay. I mean, as long as you're aware that that's not a question you want to ask the person, like, how was it? So as long as you're aware that that's not the politically correct question to ask, like, it's a funeral. Do you think I'm gonna sit here and tell you, we were laughing? Yeah, you're gonna laugh at a funeral because someone's probably gonna lighten the mood, but for the most part, everyone is sad. So when she literally asked that woman, "How was it?" I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna let her have it." But what really threw me was when she just abruptly ended that conversation with Aaron. I thought that was I I thought that was the most disrespectful thing when she just abruptly ended that conversation. So Aaron also told Uba and Bryn that Jessel had called them some cackling hags, right? It was funny. Uba didn't know what they were saying. I'm like, a cackling hag, a cackling. So they're laughing, right? And a hag, you typically think of a hag as a witch. And so Uba did do the definition of it. And that's what it was. But Aaron didn't take it too deeply. The producers asked Jenna, why did she say it? Let's be real. Jenna was doing it to be messy, and I love it. I actually love it. I wasn't upset about it. You say, I'm so glad I caught alive. I'm glad you caught alive too. I'm glad you caught alive too. So the ladies then sat down and they talked about, it kind of went dark at the end of the episode for me when Bren did say she didn't want to talk about it, but I felt like the ladies kept egging her on to talk about her family. And I was like, oh, y'all don't see that she doesn't want to talk about it. Even the damn producers were like, can we talk about it? She's like, maybe later. I was like, so y'all really gonna make this girl talk about her family life? And when she started talking about it, oh God, it sounded like her parents were. So I'm gonna say this in the nicest way. I don't think that Brand's parents were equipped to be parents, right? Just because you can have children does not mean that you should have children. Just because you are a woman and you have ovaries and you have all the working parts to carry a baby to term, you don't, you shouldn't, if you know that you can't be there for your child, you shouldn't have a kid. Same for a man. Just because you produce sperm does not mean that you should go out and impregnate a woman. So that's what I'll say about Brand's parents. I don't think that Brand's parents had the capabilities of actually being parents. Because when she said that at 6 months, they didn't pick her up and she had a dirty diaper. I'm like, yeah, that is neglect. That is neglect and that is abuse of a child. So I'm actually glad that her grandmother got her because, like I just said, her parents may not have been mentally, physically, or emotionally equipped to be someone's parent. And the fact that they had other children besides her, it's kind of alarming. And I wonder what her siblings' lives were before she was born. If they were doing that by the time she was here at 6 months, what was happening with those other children, and why didn't anyone step in and do what was best for the well-being of the children? Like, that is kind of scary to me personally. So, like I said, you guys, this episode really changed my opinions of Aaron, not Aaron, but Bren. I really like Bren, and what I will say about Bren, because when she started crying, she was crying when she was in her scene with the producers and in this scene. I do hope that she has sat down with someone and she's getting therapy for this because it's very traumatic, and I just can't even imagine what that's like. I really can't. So my deepest, you know, I feel for her. I send her nothing but love and light. And I just hope that she heals from this because your parent, like I said, you have to look at it and think maybe my mom and dad just weren't fine, maybe mentally, physically, and emotionally equipped to be parents. And maybe that's why I'm not making excuses, but maybe that's why your family was, you have to think about it. If my dad wasn't, was doing certain things, where did he learn that stuff from, right? So it's learned behavior, but you should want to change it as well. But hey, that was the episode, you guys. Please let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the live chat and in the comment section below, you guys. And that's really all I got. Overall, for me, I will say that this was a really solid episode. I'm enjoying New York. I don't care what I know people on social media complain about it, but here's the thing: you're not getting the Ramonas back. You're not getting the Bethany Frankels back. You're not getting them back unless you guys go and watch the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, which I just saw that they are giving us the New York season of Ultimate Girls Trip before they give us the one that they filmed first. Very interesting. They must really think that this is going to be a really good season of Ultimate Girls Trip. For me personally, I will have to say I am not even in the slightest bit interested in seeing Ramona Singer on my television screen. I still think that woman allegedly is a raging racist. But yeah, that's all I got, you guys. You say I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I concur. I would say the same thing. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section and the live chat, and I will catch you guys later. I gotta get off of here and get back to work. But as always, you guys, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed and stay hydrated, you guys. And I will catch you guys in the next live. And let me get this last comment, and we will get out of here. So glad to finally be catching a live, JB. It was so fun chatting with you. Absolutely, I enjoy chatting with all of you guys, and I will catch you guys later on. If you guys watch Love and Hip Hop, be sure to join me for that one later tonight, and I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.